Was once considering the porn industry because the pay is way fucking better than this warrior gig. Oh, really? Jill snorted, rolling her eyes. And what was your porn name going to be? Fang Cock? Good one. Sid pointed his fork at her with a proud nod. Thank you. Jill tossed him a large smile. Actually, no, and what is it with you and the word cock? Jared set his empty plate in the sink. I never got that far because after taking one look at this magnificent package, the cameraman said there was no way he could fit all of me into one camera shot. Jill snorted coffee out her nose while Sid laughed so hard he banged his hand on the table, and Steve looked at Jared thoughtfully. So, how much exactly does porn pay? That made everyone laugh harder. Katrina actually snorted. Oh, Steve, stop. Seriously. Steve put his empty glass down. I want to get a car and could use some extra cash. You know, Steve could probably be huge. Sid looked thoughtful. I mean, with his power, they could really write a story around that. Porn has stories? Katrina frowned. Blaze walked in at the tail end of Katrina's comment. What the fuck are you talking about? Steve wants to be a porn star. Jill grinned, watching Blaze. I got it, Jared said excitedly. Instead of Debbie Does Dallas, which was a hit back in the day, it could be The Invisible Warrior Does Debbie, and his porn name could be The Invisible Cock. Jill shouted, then bent over laughing. You guys suck. Steve threw his banana peel at Jill, smacking her in the head. Tessa, who had walked in during Jared and Sid's messing with Steve, poured her coffee and stopped next to him. Actually, I think you would really look more handsome without the mustache, Steve. You do? Steve frowned. He really loved his mustache, and it seemed so did the ladies. At least he thought they did. I don't know, I get a lot of looks from the ladies now. Bet he does, Jared snorted. You hush. Tessa's golden eyes glared at her mate before turning her attention back to Steve. I don't think it's the mustache at all. It's the pants, Sid snickered and then knuckle-bumped Jared. Tessa turned to glare at them both. No, actually, it's not that either, smartass. Then what is it? Steve asked, about ready to shit his camo pants when Tessa touched his arm, running her hand up and down his bare skin. His eyes shot to Jared, who wasn't grinning anymore. I would have to say it's how you are filling out those pants. Tessa sighed, looking at his arms. I mean, really, Steve, you've been working out a lot and it's really showing. Steve smiled proudly, his chest puffing out as he tightened his arm so his muscles flexed. Well, you know, I have been working pretty hard and what the fuck? Jared stood up, his chair shooting back and hitting the wall. Steve jumped when Jared stood, realizing that Jared's mate was touching him. A lot. Jared's anger snapped him back to reality. You trying to get me killed? He whispered, his eyes shooting back to Tessa. Katrina walked up and touched his other arm. I've noticed also. Steve knew he was close to death. It was coming and he was sweating like fucking crazy. He looked toward Blaze, his eyes swirled as he looked at Katrina's hand on his arm. Holy shit, he was going to fry. Blaze was going to set his ass on fire and Jared was going to watch him burn with a smile on his face while kicking the shit out of him. Katrina, Blaze warned. Step away from Steve so I can set his ass on fire. Whoa, now let's calm down a minute. Steve tried to step away from Tessa and Katrina, but they weren't having it. Jesus, he couldn't win. Seeing Jared and Blaze glaring at him, Jill grinning and Sid as well as Jack slowly standing to possibly save his ass, Steve panicked. As gently as he could, he pushed both Katrina and Tessa away from him. Tessa put her hands on her hips and turned toward Jared. That's what you get for being a bully. She frowned at Jared. You boys need to leave Steve alone. Boys? Jared growled, his eyes darkening. Yes, when you're being a bully, you're acting more like a boy than a man. Tessa then turned toward Blaze. And that goes for you too, fireboy. Yeah, you both should be ashamed of yourselves, Sid added, his arms crossed over his chest. I didn't say a fucking thing to Steve until Katrina started slobbering all over him. Blaze growled, his eyes still swirling. Slobbering? Katrina's eyes narrowed as she frowned at Blaze. Let's all calm down. Steve tried to step in to stop a wicked fight between the mates. Shut up, Steve, was shouted by all of them. Yes, slobbering. Blaze's eyes narrowed, then shot to Steve. If I ever see you touch him again, I will do nothing. Katrina walked up to Blaze and poked him in the chest with her small finger. Steve did nothing. If you're going to do anything to anyone, do it to me. I was doing nothing wrong except trying to make Steve feel better because these two assholes... Assholes? Sid frowned with a cocked eyebrow. Yes, assholes. Katrina didn't look his way. We're picking on Steve. Steve's eyes met Jill's, who was still grinning at him. How in the fuck did he end up in these messes all the damn time? All he wanted to do was make himself a